Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. Time for another top 10 list, and today it is my top 10 Adam Sandler movies. Now, as with any top 10 list, these are subjective, and this essentially is what I am saying are my favourite Adam Sandler movies, not necessarily what people generally consider to be his best movies. This is my top 10 list. Your top 10 list will probably look different than mine. And it is notable that I haven't seen every Adam Sandler movie. There's a couple of omissions from this list that my understanding is they're pretty good movies, but I haven't seen them, so I can't add them to the list. And we're talking about Spanglish and Punch Drunk Love, a film that I keep meaning to watch and I haven't been able to see yet, so it hasn't made the list. But what is on this list are 10 of my favourite Adam Sandler movies, a very divisive actor who's made some stinkers over the years, but hopefully this list will remind you that there is actually some talent here with Adam Sandler. Now, coming in at number 10 on my list is Big Daddy, a film that I got a great deal of enjoyment out of when it was released, and certainly on DVD. I don't think I saw this at the cinema, and I think this is quite a charming, funny film. This is why it's number 10 on the list. I don't think it's his strongest by any stretch, but I think this was a charming, amusing film that showed a different side to Adam Sandler, a sensitive side, and I think the only thing that really spoils this movie is the terribly sugar-coated ending that is very difficult to take. But other than that, there's some good moments in this movie and some funny moments in it, and it is certainly worth a watch, and I think one of his best. At number 9, The Longest Yard. Now, the reason why I've put this on the list is, well, number 1, I enjoy it, and number 2, I'm a big fan of the original, the Burt Reynolds one. And Burt Reynolds makes an appearance in this movie, as well as many other famous people. You've got Chris Rock in here. You've got half the WWE roster in here playing prison guards and prisoners, and it is a very, very entertaining sports movie ultimately, and Adam Sandler makes an incredibly convincing lead in this movie, so it is very good. It is funny, although it's not one of his funniest movies. It's not slapstick funny, but a very well made and impressive compared to the original. Number 8, The Wedding Singer. This might well be higher on some people's lists, and for me, I enjoy this movie. I've just got a little bit tired of it over the years. I think it's fair to say that this is one of the movies that really put Adam Sandler on the map. It was a huge hit, and it showed his comedy presence in a movie. It's very well written. It's a very clever idea in regards to, setting it in the 80s. It showcased his comedy talents, his singing talents as well, and it was the first film where he was paired up with Drew Barrymore, a partnership that has resurfaced a number of times in his movie career, so this is certainly a very good movie. At number 7, The Waterboy. This for a long time was really one of my favourite Adam Sandler films. Genuinely hilarious at times. He creates a very memorable character here with this Waterboy character. We've got Kathy Bates in the movie, who's fantastic. We've got it's another sports movie. It's another American football movie. But he does these sports movies very, very well, Adam Sandler, but the character he creates here is very, very special, very funny, and the situations that he gets put in this movie is very funny. And actually, it gets you really, really cheering on at the end as well, so it's a really well constructed sports comedy movie, this. At number 6, Bulletproof. Now, this was released in 1996, just before he really made his name, and this is one of those hidden Adam Sandler gems, I think. He's got great chemistry with Damon Wayans in this movie. It's an action comedy where he plays a criminal who is being taken cross-country basically by Damon Wayans. It's very similar to Midnight Run, the Robert De Niro movie with Charles Grodin. It's similar in its concept, but this is a bit more heavy on the comedy, this movie. They make a great partnership, these two. It's very funny, and the action as well is very good, and I think Adam Sandler should have really done a little bit more action in his movies because he had a gift for it. Number 5, Funny People, the Judd Apatow movie that allowed Adam Sandler to reel himself back in a little bit, calm down the characters that he'd been creating, and just give us a quite mellow, funny performance where he plays an aging comedian who takes a very young green comedian under his wing because he's poorly and he wants to help somebody in the business, if you like. It's got a star-studded cast. I don't think it's one of Judd Apatow's best. It's not slapstick funny, but it feels very real, very genuine, and a very surprising good film. At number 4, Reign Over Me, the film that Adam Sandler very nearly didn't take. He turned it down a number of times because he was basically terrified of it, and then he decided to be brave and take it on. And it's a wonderful performance. Anybody that doesn't think Adam Sandler can act needs to watch this movie, because it's not a comedy, it's definitely a drama, where basically Adam Sandler loses everything in the September 11 terrorist attack, and basically runs across his old college buddy played by Don Cheadle, and slowly but surely begins to find himself again. It's a wonderful movie, a beautiful movie, very moving, and one of my favourite Adam Sandler films, definitely. Number 3, Anger Management. I just love this movie. I really, it's so good. Him and Jack Nicholson together make such a fantastic comedy team in this movie. It is absolutely bonkers, this movie, but really, really funny. And the premise here is that Adam Sandler is actually a very, very calm and laid back person in the movie. Gets sent to anger management for I think he's kicking off on a plane, I think, something like that. He gets tasered on a plane, and Jack Nicholson is his therapist, and he's like the worst therapist in the world. He completely takes over Adam Sandler's life. Hilariously funny. I just absolutely love this movie, and this is clearly, I think, one of Adam Sandler's best comedy movies. Number 2, You Don't Mess with the Zohan. I think probably one of his batshit craziest movies. Whoever came up with this idea wants either shooting or given a medal. But the main reason this is at number 2 is because my wife's a hairdresser, and we went to the cinema to see this, and we were just crying with laughter watching this, the pair of us. It's one of the most fun times I've ever had in a cinema, watching this movie at the cinema. It's absolutely bizarre, completely bonkers, but undeniable fun. The last 15 minutes of the movie I zone out with pretty much, because it just gets really bizarre and stupid. But other than that, what a fun, I mean really hilariously funny movie this is. And at number 1, can't really be a surprise here, Happy Gilmore, the film that introduced me to Adam Sandler. It's the first film I saw of his, and it's still the best. The mad golfer with anger issues, it's just, the concept is so bizarre, but it works so perfectly. Incredibly funny, well written, acted to perfection by Adam Sandler. And we've got Carl Weathers in the movie playing his coach, which is fantastic. We've got other little cameos in here. The villain of the piece was so wonderful. I don't really care for the romantic part of the story. I don't necessarily think that works brilliantly, but clearly I think this is Adam Sandler's best movie. Thanks for watching, everyone.